Hi guys, Aceface back with another video for you, and I've got something very special lined up today. So if you've been paying attention to the Facebook page, you will know that we've been gearing up to the very first battle report for Age of Sigmar. So it's going to happen, it's happening now, we're throwing it down, and we're actually going to do a little bit of a mini campaign as we build up to kind of get into grips with this game. So we're starting off with 1,000 points. We are using the General's Handbook and the missions from there. So we're starting with 1,000 points, and we're going to work up 250 points each time, did we say?
250.
250 each battle will increase. Each battle at the end of, you're going to be able to remove or change 3 units, or make just generally 3 changes in your army as we kind of increase and get up to speed. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. We will be adding a little bit of flavour, a little bit of narrative to this, so we'll see what happens. But basically this is a Skaven army taking on the Tzeentch Chaos Lord. So we'll sort of see how we're getting on with this, but we'll jump in and have a look at the armies. So welcome to Aceface Clan. So for this, pretty much, as I said, I'm pretty much using what I've got from Fantasy. I've got some new additions, as you would have seen on the channel. We're starting off with some tried and tested units and see how they get on. Not really too sure how they'll play out in this game, but it's all going to be quite fun just finding out. So for my leader, I'm going to try and use Age of Sigmar terms, and apologies if I slip back into 40k, but my leader, and he is leader on a behemoth basically, so he's kind of a combination of the two. So it's the Plague Priest on Plague Furnace, which is pretty cool, and he has got 2 units of a battle line, which are the Plague Monk. So I've got a unit of 20 which has got full command, so all the other gubbins on there, and we have a unit of 10. Then I have the Warp Lightning Cannon, which I hear very good things about, so we'll see if it performs. Looks like on paper it could be quite nasty. Then I couldn't help but bring my favourite unit from Fantasy, which is the Hell Pit Abomination. Really fun unit in Fantasy. His stats and what he can do in Age of Sigmar still look pretty groovy, so we'll see how he gets on. We then pretty much, this is more of a points filler, gone for some acolytes. They should be pretty good if they get close. They can put quite a sting in. Whether they'll get anywhere near where they need to, we'll have to wait and see. So that's my army, and we'll go over and have a look at the Chaos Demons. So guys, let's take a look at Fate Weaver's devilish little scheming parade here and see what's coming up against my Skaven. What you got, Chris?
Right, so this is the spare some change formation. Got a Fate Weaver leading the charge there, looking very majestic on top of these ruins. 10 squads of pink horrors, 10 squad of pink horrors. Both got thrown in some extra icons and some extra instruments in there just to be a little bit more nasty. We've got the big old soul grinder as the behemoth, and we've got 3 screamers on the edge there just to try and do a little outflank, cause them some damage, something to think about. Fate Weaver is the leader, another behemoth as well, and the horrors of the battle line.
Nice. And yours came into bang on 1,000, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
So yeah, Chris's came in at 1,000. Mine came just short, which meant I got like a little extra bonus. So I get to re-roll hits in 1 round of combat with my leader. Is that right?
Choose something in 8 inches of your leader or something and re-roll.
So that's kind of what I got, because because of the way it works, there's no real upgrades. I couldn't really find anything to squeeze the extra points in, so I'm sort of 30 points down, just like I didn't have a model or what have you. But basically, yeah, so that's how it fell. So we are playing, what's it called? Border War. Border War. So basically, for you guys that are not aware of this mission, so basically it's 4 objectives. So we have 1 on in each of our deployment zones. The board is basically cut into 4 sections. So the ones that are in our own deployment zone are kind of cut in between the two territories, and then the line that goes through the middle, there is 2 objectives along the line. So 1 here, and then 1 over the far side. So it is progressive mission, so you score points if you are on the objectives, or if you have more of your models on or close to the objectives at the end of the turn. So it's going to kind of build up aggressively on points, and then after 5 rounds we'll see who has got the most points. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, guys. If we make mistakes, please do put them in the comments below. We are both learning, but this should be interesting. There's going to be mass carnage. I think everything's going to die pretty quickly. So we'll see what happens, and we'll go into the first battle round. So after deployment, and we've seen it, we've run over it, I'm not going to go over it again. You can see the 2 armies lined up against each other. I did start to place my models first, and Chris managed to finish his deployment first, so he gets the first turn, which is very, very interesting. One thing to bear in mind with Chris's army, Fate Weaver, just in 40k, has his own little tricks. So basically, once a game, he can basically choose the dice roll. So basically, it means that almost certainly at one point he will choose whether he wants to take a consecutive turn. As the turns work, each battle round you roll off again, so he will pretty much choose to go first again at one point, no doubt. But we'll see how that goes. But we are going to go into the first battle round, and the first battle round in the Age of Sigmar campaign for Chaos Demons. Right, so the end of first turn for Demons. So everything's kind of come forward. Chris, did you cast something? Did you cast anything? Yeah, you did.
Mystic
You
Shield
cast
on the
Mystic
Soul
Shield on the Soul Grinder to make him a bit more resilient. Everything else kind of moved forward, not too aggressively. The Screamers hiding behind the little Temple of Skulls over there, and Fate Weaver's come down. Into the shooting phase, the only real shooting was Soul Grinder shot into the Warp Lightning Cannon and took only 1 wound, so Chris rolled pretty badly, so he gets D6 shot with his Harvester Cannon and he only rolled 2, so he didn't really do too much damage there, so just 1 wound dealt off that, and that was pretty much the end of the turn. He does control some objectives, so he's controlling with the horrors down here, and with the Screamers, so he takes an early lead of 3 into my turn. Okay, so end of the first turn for the Skaven. Pretty good turn. So everything's kind of come forward, as you would have seen. The rolled quite well on the help it, so he's moved forward there. And we slung-shot the sensor into the middle. In the shooting phase, I took 5 wounds off the Soul Grinder with the Warp Lightning Cannon, which was a pretty good result there. It is proving that it is pretty deadly. And then in the assault phase, the Plague Furnace dashed in to try and see if I could see him off. I didn't actually realise how many wounds, both me and Chris didn't realise how many wounds he had. He's actually got too many wounds. But I did do pretty well, so the big sensor crashed down, took some more mortal wounds off him, so he's actually down to, what do we say, down to 8 wounds, is that so?
How many down? Started with 16, 8 left.
Just 8 left. He did hit back. He's got some nasty attacks himself, and he took the furnace down to 6 wounds. He's got a nasty little claw where basically you do a bit of randomising. So we both pick a number. If we get equal, you kind of do it blind. If you get equal, then he takes another D6 mortal wounds off me. So that's pretty brutal. So yeah, nasty stuff there. But so far, so good. So we hang in there. It's pretty much stalemate there, and we'll go into the second battle round. So far on that one, I held the one objective there, so I'll just get 1 point for that. I'm not within range to hold the other one, so Chris takes a lead as we go into the second battle round. The Master Chicken of the Warp has activated his ability. I've just beat Chris on the roll to go first again in the next battle round, but he has made his roll a 6 to beat my 4, so the Demons will go first as we go into the second battle round. Right, so end of the second battle turn for the Demons. As you can see, no more Plague Furnace. So everything moved up. Fate Weaver cast extra +1. It's not cast, it's an ability. So +1 to those guys to hit. And these guys got it for being within range of the Temple of Skulls. So they move forward. Then the small unit of horrors shot into the furnace, killing it off. And it only had 3 wounds. In fact, before that, I should say, Fate Weaver also took some wounds off it because he used his staff in the magic phase and the arcane bolt, and took some more wounds off him as well. So in fact, Chris is rolling pretty badly. Should have probably seen him off with the magic powers alone. As I said, then the horrors finished him off. Then the Soul Grinder that's heavily damaged shot into the Warp Lightning Cannon and did no damage at all. Oh, in fact, actually it was the larger group of horrors that shot into the furnace. The smaller unit shot into the Hell Pit that Chris is calling Brad Pitt from now on. So this guy now is Brad. and you're going to see that come up quite a lot. But so he took 1 wound off him, so he's down to 11 wounds. He'll regenerate that easy as we go into the next turn. Chris will score 1 objective for being over there, and his screamers haven't moved, so he'll again score some there. So he's clocked up some points, and so what, up to 6?
Yep.
So he's up to 6 points to my 1 as we go into the second round for Skaven. Right guys, so end of second battle turn for the Skaven. So a mixed turn, so the Hell Pit, or Brad Pit as he's affectionately called, gained his wound back and got quite a good roll on his movement, moved to the middle just in really good distance of the Soul Grinder. The Plague Monks came forward as well to support. These guys came up to make sure that they took that objective. These guys stayed around their objective, and the lightning cannon was in a good position to kind of do some damage. And so from a shooting point of view, we took how many wounds off Fate Weaver? We took 3 wounds off Fate Weaver, didn't we? Yeah, took
3 wounds off Fate
Weaver.
Weaver.
3 wounds off Fate Weaver from the lightning cannon. It is really, really good. I am dead impressed with this model. It is very, very cool. And then into the assault phase, the Hell Pit actually snuffed a lot of his attacks, did really, really poorly, and didn't manage to take down the Soul Grinder, which was a killer. Left him with 1 wound, because if he'd stayed in there, then I'd have had a lot more wounds left. As it was, when the Soul Grinder hit back, he took 4 wounds off the Hell Pit, and took a wound or 2 off the Plague Monks as well. The Plague Monks then hit the Soul Grinder, killing his last wound and taking him off. So yeah, we're in a good position. If we win the roll off here, we can get into his lines. Chris reckons it's game over if I get into his lines. If he gets the next turn, he will cause an awful lot of damage. The Hell Pit should go down, and potentially quite a lot of the monks. But we'll see as we go into that key roll. So guys, very different battlefield now as we finished the turn 3, because it was I went straight into my turn because I won the roll off, as you would have seen. So because I won the roll off, it's been quite brutal. So everything kind of got as close as it could, and we first of all shot the warp lightning cannon into Fate Weaver, took another wound off him with the warp lightning cannon.
3 wounds off him.
Took 3 wounds off him with the warp lightning cannon. Rolled pretty hot there. So reduced him down quite heavily. Then the monks and the other monks came up. The punks, they are the punk monks. They got as close as they could, and the Hell Pit got a decent move as well to make sure that he was in range of those. We all charged in, killed Fate Weaver straight away, and did some damage on some horrors. He hit back, did 1 wound off the Hell Pit, off old Brad Pit, and then the second monk swung in, killing the remainder of the horrors. And then when the Hell Pit swang in, even with his reduced abilities, because he's quite hurt, he took out quite a lot more. So there's just the 2 left. So the demons are replenished, are just down to the 2 guys. Didn't lose any more in the battle shock, and the sneaky screamers. So a really solid turn. We're learning quite quickly that the brutality of winning two turns on the row when you're close up is absolutely brutal. So we'll now go into demon turn 3. Right guys, so even though it's just the start of the turn 3 for demons, Chris has called it, so that's right. I have broken my losing streak on the channel. It took me to go to a different game system to manage it, but we've taken a win. So yeah, he's thrown the towel. It's just pretty much impossible because I've got so much ball control now, and I will take the objectives, even with the screamers running around potentially taking that objective in my turn. I've still got so many units to mop up all the objectives, and because it's progressive, I'm going to score them very quickly. So I win the first game of the campaign. So what we'll do is we'll do some roll-offs and find out what things we've got. Yeah, interesting. What I'll probably do is do a separate video to talk about what potentially I will take in with my additional points to add to this army, and we'll see whether Tzeentch, the Lord of Change and Trickery, what he's got up his sleeve as he decides what to do about this horrible clan. But thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.